A mother worth loving. A mother worth loving. Our scripture is coming out of the NIV, Genesis chapter 3, verse 20. Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living. There's a conflict on Mother's Day. Often we say Happy Mother's Day. But there's an awful lot going on in an awful lot of people's lives that those three words, one of which is a conjunction, sometimes means different things to different people. To say Happy Mother's Day brings angst in some, downright pain in others. And yet, who wants to display their own hurt when others are displaying happy? And in the midst of some fighting the conflict within, it still doesn't mean that people don't want to celebrate with those that are celebrating. So it creates this conflict. And then you mess around and have a company like Hallmark, who makes all these absolutely wonderful cards that are designed to help celebrate Happy Mother's Day. But part of why I see a conflict with the presentation of what I'll deem the perfect person in that which Hallmark deems this day, Happy Mother's Day, is mothers are not perfect. Thank you for not throwing anything at me. Thank you for not getting angry at me. And there's great benefit because by nature, the math says mothers are older than us. So because mothers are older than us, there's a lot of things that they may know that we don't know anything about. And unless they tell us, we just don't know. So they can present themselves as perfect, and we don't get to know some of the imperfections because we weren't there, so whatever story they tell, that's what we know. I guess perhaps the way you're looking at me, all of you had perfect mothers except for me. And while I'm not getting ready to bear anything related to my mom about her imperfections, I do believe it's important to know that a mother is worth loving. Because just in case there's a little inkling in the back of somebody's mind that your mom was not perfect, she's still worth loving. I initially was going to call this a mother worth celebrating. And yet, some of you may not want to celebrate your mother for whatever complicated reasons there may be at this moment or throughout time. But the truth is, if you love her well enough, the celebration will just automatically come. So part of why we read 1 Corinthians 13 is to give us the perspective of what true love is and how we can love mother. This text, Genesis chapter 3, verse 20, Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living. Eve. Eve. Eve means in the original languages, living one, or source of life, or life giver. It says Adam named his wife Eve. My first point is quite simple. She was named despite not being perfect. Eve was not perfect. We're already in the 3rd chapter. Sin has already taken place. Eve has already not gotten it right. But she was named despite not being perfect. I would love to be able to take some of the burden some mothers may have if you have the burden of feeling like you've got to be perfect, like you've always got to get it right, like you always have to do the right thing, like you always have to handle business in such a way that it's almost as if you have to be perfect. No, you don't. She was named despite not being perfect. And if you've got conflict with your mom because you dare say your mom was not perfect, she's still worth loving. A messed up mother is still a mother. No matter what she went through, no matter what she faced, no matter what she dealt with, that you might have seen or might not have seen, she's still a mother. A mother who makes mistakes is still a mother. And sometimes it can be so difficult for us to give grace to the one who gave us life. And part of the reason is we just think that they ought to have it all together. So when they get on us and give us a hard time, we don't see that it's okay that they're not perfect. She was named despite not being perfect. A mother who has committed a moral failure is still a mother. Perhaps because I often deal with matters of life and death, and I interact with people who are struggling about their relationship with mom. I see in this text the truth that despite the fact that Eve was not perfect, she was still named. She was still a mother. And our mothers don't have to be perfect for us to love them. They don't have to have it all together for us to love them. She was named despite not being perfect. But she was also named despite not being everything. She was named Eve because she would be the mother of all the living. She was a mother, but she didn't have to be a giraffe. She was a human mother. She didn't have to be a giraffe. I know that a lot of you think that mom needs to be able to just reach these high heights and do everything that a mother ought to be able to do, and whatever one mother does, another mother ought to be able to do. And if this mother can do this, then this mother ought to be a super mom, and this mother mom ought to be able to handle everything. Dad can go take a walk, but mom's got to be able to hold it down and keep it together. She's got to be able to reach and do just spectacular things. We have expectations of mothers that are perhaps a Hallmark card, but maybe not realistic. And Eve was never told that she had to be a giraffe. She was named despite not being a giraffe. And for those of you who think that you've got to do just all this magnificent, wonderful stuff in order to be a mom, it doesn't take all that. She didn't have to be a giraffe, but she also didn't have to be an ant. She wasn't called on to be an ant. She didn't have to be a giraffe, but she also didn't have to be an ant. She didn't have to stoop down to whatever was low to be a mother. She didn't have to deal with difficulties that others might have to deal with. She didn't have to stoop down low. She was named despite not being everything. She didn't have to be a super this or a super that. And you know what else? He named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living. A mother cannot be a father. It's a different role. It's a different position. A mom doesn't ever have to try to be a dad. So she was named despite not being perfect. She was named despite not being everything. And here's my final point. She was named before she nurtured. Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living. God didn't use Adam to name Eve after she'd given birth. He named her before. It was her nature that got her named. And the nature of a woman, the nature of a mother is special. It is a nurturing nature. There's something about what mom can do that dad just absolutely can't do. It's not, brothers, I wouldn't even try. I'm just saying there's something that mom's got that nobody else has. Her niche was a God-given gift. He didn't try to morph and change Adam into being a mother. He used Eve to be what only Eve could be: life, a gift. She wasn't perfect, she didn't have it all together, but he still named her. And her niche could not be taken by anyone else. And her name never changed, no matter what her children did. It's a special thing that despite the fact that the children she gave birth to were not perfect and didn't have it all together, Eve was still Eve. One day, one reason we celebrate Mother's Day is not because we expect mom to be perfect. Yes, my mother used to burn toast. And you could smell it all over the house because she was trying to do too much. So she'd start the toast, and it didn't matter that you were all the way upstairs. You knew what happened, you knew who did it, and you knew why it happened, because she was trying to do too much. And mothers, you don't have to do too much. You can be who God created you to be. And we celebrate you because we love you. Because even with all of your imperfections, God still used you to bless us with life. And so we thank God for that niche God created in you that no one else has. No one else can have it. No one else should have it. It's not something you need to apologize for. The unique way that God created and made you with all of your imperfections, we love you and we celebrate you. Our love leads our celebration. Our celebration is given. It's not earned. There's nothing that you can do, and there's nothing that can take away from who you are. Because God, through Adam, named her Eve, and despite her imperfections, he still used her to bring life into this world. So as we say Happy Mother's Day, we thank God for the gift that because we show you love, we're showing it to ourselves as well, because it means we appreciate what God has made in us through you. So thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your care. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for waking up when Dad refused to. Thank you for feeding us when you didn't feel like it. Thank you for all that you do that we don't deserve. And we give love back to you in celebration of you, not because you deserve it, but you do find yourselves worthy of our love, and we love you.